And we are live into the action here. Wildcard starting out on the defensive side. But it's Boss heading towards a very empty site early on. No resistance on A, but with the move in towards mid, this is a risk. Full 5 commit on the B site.
Wow. What's this read? They must have looked at demos or something. And I mean, they played each other a lot. So this must be based on history or something. But I mean, Boss are still walking into an empty site. Wildcard's going to realize it eventually, and they might get it on an interesting flank here. But I'm not sure that's going to matter because by that point, Boss is going to plant the bomb and be firmly in their foundation on that defense.
Yeah, Boss is wondering, like, what's going on? There has to be something weird here. And now they're realizing it's a full 5B setup. Now, this could still go awry. It is a retake, and oh my goodness, these retake kills are disgusting. Nobody can get their crosshair on, and all right. Vaporized
What
on
happened?
contact. Wildcard bet they could pull off the full retake, and they bet correct.
Wow, that was crazy. It just happened before you could even blink. Wildcard just erasing everyone off the server from Boss. Not a single casualty. Not to mention, they barely took damage. I think a little bit of chip for 3 players, and that's it. 1-0, and Wildcard making it look clean. They do give up the bomb plant, though, because you know, they went for that full-on retake. So that means we'll likely see an investment coming through from Boss. And there it is. Absolutely. The Galils, the Mac 10s, and the Tech 9s are going to be out in full force. And on the other side for Wildcard, they obviously realize that. So they're upgrading immediately to 3 M4s. A UMP in the mix for Stanislaw. Again, we're seeing that UMP, Mike, and I feel like it's going to become a mainstay in CS2 in the current meta. At least having one available on the squad. But yeah, Slight is rocking the MP9. Again, like I remember in CSGO, you just every time someone bought a UMP, you're like, why is it an MP9? But there must be something here.
I think the feel is dramatic enough that it's working out in the range game as well. In the tail end of CSGO, the MP9 was so busted good that not buying it was actively sabotaging your team when you had the money to spare. But it is definitely a lot more justifiable here in 2.
We'll see how it goes.
It was, ironically, you know, the symptom of the player who didn't want to change with the times. Oh boy, what is going on with Boss? This is bizarre. It genuinely just feels like their aim is off. I mean, we saw it in the pistol as well. These are fights that you'd expect a team to win. The slow walk into the crosshair angle that you're holding. Very concerning early on.
Yeah, they're losing every fight. Straight up. I mean, they just lost 2 more. Fang is the last one standing with 10 HP. There's pretty much no chance of him pulling this one off, especially since the bomb is dropped on the A site. So Wildcard have a second. This was a forced buy for Boss, but it really didn't look like it. Like you were saying, I mean, just they're straight up not getting involved in aim duels in such a significant way that an MP9, as Stan gets the last one, an MP9 got 2 when it was pretty much a 1v2 against Light. Or 2v1, I should say, in favor of Boss.
Yeah. This is... Obviously, we got to see this change pretty quick. Not a kill yet through 2
Still
rounds.
Early.
Not great. It is very early. It's just the...
I know what you
mean. It looks weird. This is not normally the kind of thing I say in casting, you know, ECL Counter-Strike. But they're missing. They're just missing, which is... That's just not... It's not how Counter-Strike's supposed to function at this level. They just missed a smoke as well. That's concerning. That was definitely supposed to be an elbow smoke. I don't know why on earth you would have a smoke back here. That's from the Wildcard side this time, but Sonic's not going to miss any bullets.
I think Sonic's going to get an ace here.
My goodness, he might be on for it. He's going to chase it down now. There's the swing. Finally, the punish. It's taken so very long, and meanwhile, the knife might come out. Slight doesn't do him that injustice. But it'll even save the rifle through. So the SMG's lost. Sonic farms up some numbers. And, well, now the guns are out, and we need to see a different Boss.
I think we will. Let's have faith in them that they'll come through and make this one competitive at this point. Again, it's still very, very early on, but there are some troubling signs. I do agree with you, Mike. You know, just seeing some of the things that are happening here for Boss, it's unusual how dominant it's been for Wildcard. Only 1 death in 3 rounds, and Sonic leading the charge as he often does with 7 frags. One player who isn't necessarily leading as much, and I guess it's starting to change recently, but it's Slight. I mean, he was so good. I remember particularly on Strife, like just a dominant offer, and Slipped up a little bit, but he's starting to find his form once more. There's Cryptic. Okay, speaking of finding form, gets the headshot onto Grizz. Makes it a 5v4. It's the first time that Boss have looked threatening at all so far.
He's a huge part of their Ancient. He always is in terms of finding space, finding positions to punish. I mean, for an IGL, right, he tends to have more individual impact than you would expect on most maps for this team. But particularly Ancient, it feels like he tends to do well. Oh, that Molotov actually kind of telegraphs this play. It's a little too slow. And look at the bet that Wildcard are making. They've put 2 in the site. They were even thinking about rotating over Sonic as well, but now Boss are slowing things down. They've got the player in towards Cave. That's what they wanted. That's what they risked the utility for. They've got enough for another exec. Now with Wildcard playing back, this could turn into a retake setup pretty quick. There's the smokes. There's no vision on. Spam it will be, but this bomb's going down.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, they're going to continue spamming through. Eventually, Slight's going to have a peek around Long B here, but it's still smoked off. He's got to wait. And you see Boss firmly planting their feet on the site. Wildcard pretty much took apart their post plant and the pistol round, but this is an entirely different story. I mean, you've got 4 AKs in the op-up this time, and they're ready to go. And there's another one for Freshy, finding the dome of Slight.
IPA, 1 kill, but yeah, it's falling apart. Just on the Sonic here. He gets 1 more, but time should not allow this to be a possibility here. They want to chase it up. Oh my goodness, Sonic. He's still got a chance. It's a slim one, but he's going to make sure that nobody escapes along with him. If the bomb goes off, Cryptic's a goner.
It should.
And indeed, there will be no survivors. Sonic evidently felt they had enough cash that he could justify it, and he was right.
I mean, Sonic's looking crisp right now, like compared to Boss. I mean, he looks like he's one of the hottest players on Wildcard right now with the way he's aiming, just hitting those heads repeatedly and just very snappy aim as well. Timeout call for Boss because that is the worst way you could win your first round of a Counter-Strike match, by getting up 4v1 and then repeatedly peeking the last player and losing 3 fights, winning 1 but losing that player to the bomb explosion. So still, it's a win, but Boss are in a precarious situation at this point.
Now, John, we have a tactical timeout, so I'm going to take a moment to mention a bit of news that's just dropped over on the interwebs. Nouns have made a roster change.
What?
They have removed Classia on the team and brought in Rush to the squad.
Okay, wait, Rush
making the move over from Party Astronauts now into Classia spot over on Nouns.
I was just talking about this with Semphis on the David's Cup. I was talking about Classia and hoping that he figured out, you know, everything that's going on behind the scenes and being a better teammate and everything. But if he's dropped from the team that quickly, it sounds like nothing's changed, unfortunately.
Hard to say. I think in some of the matches that I watched, he didn't necessarily have the mesh on individual form.
Perhaps.
Could be he just wasn't the player they're looking for. Nice shot for Slight. We're back into the action here. Slight has rebuffed them towards the A site. Likes to play that A site quite a bit. They don't move the op around as much as some other teams, but they don't need to, especially if you got Grizz coming back to catch the red room push through. So Boss, early efforts have been for naught. They got nada here.
Yeah. And Wildcard with a ton of map control. Like, look at this. Boy. They've got mid, they've got A. Well, they can get better control of A, but they've also got a couple of players on the B site ready to receive these 3 Boss players. Yep.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't even know if Sonic will fire a shot this round, but he's just slipped a dagger in their back, and yeah, they're done. Into the Vaporizer. If they needed any confirmation, that was it. Disaster of a round here coming through from Boss. And again, because they didn't save any guns in the round prior now, I mean, this is just painful right now to watch.
It really is, yeah. I mean, just like I said, you know, being up 4v1, they did a great job of getting to that point, but then to lose 3 players and then the whole team in the end, in the 1 round they won, it's just so troubling, and it doesn't help the confidence issues that I think Boss are facing right now. And if you don't have confidence in Counter-Strike, I mean, it's so important. You're not going to hit your shots consistently, even if you know you're capable of. Look at that nade, so chunky. Pone Alone still gets 2 with the P250 onto the B site. That's going to be a plant. Pone Alone standing on his head. They're so low. It's just a pistol round coming through. They get a couple of guns up, but the nades are going to come through. Mortar strikes from JBA and Slight. Freshie and Cryptic are gone. Pone and Darty are the last two, and now it's only Darty. Wow, what a retake from Wildcard. Darty doesn't even get another frag on the board, and they will defuse this bomb. That looked like a round that Boss could have upset the apple cart with, but instead, it is a defusal and another round victory for Wildcard.
That's got to be a tendency punish, right? I mean, a lot of teams like to take that long control. It's not unusual, so it's something that Wildcard could be playing more often. But the fact that there were two players there and they were both low enough to exploit, that's ooh, I mean, look, with the bomb plant down, it's not the worst thing in the world, but Boss need to start stacking some rounds on the board, and they know it.
Yeah.
And it's not going to feel good. You're in a man-up situation, and the post plant doesn't really matter what you came in with. You want to be winning.
Yeah. Oh, boy. All right. Sonic just going to go for that mid control. Boss are back on a buy. Of course, they have the full loss bonus to fall back on, and they did get a bomb plant in that previous round, so it'll be 4 AKs in the op. But, I mean, the guns haven't been the issue here. It's just straight up they're losing the fights when it counts. Which is immediately. Every time they face off. Darty going to be coming out here. Oop, Darty peeking around. Nice. Okay. Playing off
frisky.
of Pone alone. That's good. Yeah. They managed to get the frag. I think Riz is a little too aggressive there, but perhaps because they have such a significant edge, excuse me, and they're feeling confident, they're trying things that are a little more aggressive.
Yeah, it's an unorthodox angle to hold without utility support, right? That's where, if you're going to hold that far forward, that's where you see a teammate drop a smoke on the double doors and you just hug the tight corner or something along those lines. It's unusual to see a team or a player play the off angle where they can get peeked into. As much as CS2 has come a long way, even in land play, much less online play, you still want to be the one who's swinging, not being swung. And that's exactly why Stanislaus Surgical knew where Fang would be, had the read, and gets the assassination on that one. Bomb probably still going to be planted here, but they'll have even Stevens in the retake. Big problem is they don't have any utility for this, really. I don't know if they want to risk it without nades. No smoke. No, that one flash. That's the first kill.
Here's the flash. Doesn't do much.
Try into the angles now. What you gonna do? You're gonna lose the bodies one after another. Hero play from JBA. But he's stuck in a crossfire, running down Pone alone. He's got the first. Time now. He's got the kill.
No! No!
He calls bluff.
No!
He calls bluff. He does indeed. Pulls off. That could have been catastrophe. Instead, it is a round win for Boss, though once again, they're unable to bank any reserves.
Oh my goodness, I thought for a second JBA was going to pull it off, man. That was so close. And that would have just been, I think that would have been the end for Boss in this map, honestly, if they lose that round, because it was a 3v1 again. JBA gets a couple. I mean, he just closes in on Pone alone. There's not much Pone alone can do up against Tech 9 with such low HP when he swung like that. So that was that. But then the last player in cave, my goodness, that got too close for comfort again. And it's once more a round victory that Boss can't necessarily feel good about. The only maybe silver lining is that Wildcard's money isn't that great into this round, so they will be a little more limited for utility, but still the guns are great. Stan's got the UMP, yes, but that shouldn't be too much of a hindrance with the way they're shooting right now.
Little quick tag on Sonic as he goes for the jump pop. Not punished, though, for the moment. Fang has really struggled to get activated on this map, which, considering the fact that he's frequently a solo lurker, is not a great prospect for Boss.
He's also been a player that they've relied on for, top fragging duties, and especially against that match against Might. He dropped 54, including 37 on Mirage in overtime.
Well, doesn't seem like Ancient is his map today. At least not yet. Oh, flashbang timing. Fang comes around for the check, but Grizz actually ducked, and uh-oh. Cryptic thought that was a little more clear than perhaps it was. Damage on, but there's two players to fight here, and it's a trade on it. So Fang at least finally cracking the goose egg, but still not a great result. And
Darty.
A 50-50 clear. Darty will pick it wrong. Here comes the pressure. Bomb crosses, but now it's all alone, and Pone alone. Not fancying his chances at a bomb plant here. Desperation time. Gonna have to do something a little unorthodox and well before you can figure out what he wants to try. he'll never get the opportunity.
Stan the man. 3K for him, jumping up to 8 frags. Even IGL's getting in on the action here. 6-2 in favor of Wildcard. And I mean, that's the problem for Boss, right? They haven't been able to get that convincing round victory. And then afterwards, they're getting isolated, the round victory, that is. And they're just getting swept away. It's not even close on the follow-up rounds, both times. They need that round victory where it's comfortable, where they look good, so they can build off of it. Until they get that, I think that their confidence is just going to continue to be wavering. They're going to try and just push straight up into the A side. Not a bad idea. Slight's the only one here. Yeah, he's going to get run down here. No, he pulls out the USP. And then JBA manages to drop Freshie immediately. What a recovery there. Slight eventually is going to get fragged, but I mean, he gives his team a chance just with that quick USP flick. More than a chance now with Sonic dropping Fang.
On planet at least. Stanislaw now out. That's Donut Presence gone. I mean, this is workable for Boss. Let's get weird here. Ponalone still doesn't have armor. They're still not going to have a lot to hold this at bay. Pone is desperate to get his hands on a gun, and so he does. The big green at that. Oh, but he can't hit his shot. Tech 9 does its work, but not quite enough. Sonic continues to be the hot hand, the defuse taboo. And it is 7 on the board for Wildcard. Still, considering it's the techies, if anything, Boss are having more consistent sight control success off of the lighter buys.
Yeah, with the pistols and the SMGs, you're not wrong. The thing is, one detail I liked there from Ponalone is he tried to run through Temple and in towards CT spawn, and he actually kept one player back. I think it was Stanislaw. I can't remember which team player it was, but he just kept someone back there to watch and make sure no one's coming in the flank. So you only have 2 players coming to the site instead of 3. And, well, it gave them maybe a little bit of a better chance to do something. Unfortunately, the frags weren't there, and Pone couldn't really set himself up with the big green to hit the shots. So now, Boss, they will be back on the buy up here. That was just the eco that was almost successful for them. 4 AKs in the op, and Pone alone gets baited out to shoot by Grizz. Now they know he's there, and he has to fall off of the boost. So Boss, once more, unable to get that opening shot fired in the position they were hoping for. Slight, spots the arm as well. Can't connect on his, so we're going back and forth here with missed op shots. Eventually, one of them's going to connect them. Now Boss are stalling out, Mike.
We've seen this before. A lot of teams are falling into this trap right now where they want to settle in towards the B main control, but it kind of telegraphs what they want to do, because right now Sonic's not seeing anything. JVA is not seeing anything. Like, potentially they could be stacked up in A main. This could be a full exec, but Wildcard to put the numbers in the right place. One foul, not the second. Trade off the UMP. And the Molotov timely to stall this out, allow a third player in towards the site. Now it's a brawl. Fighting around the pillar. Pone alone, a critical frag, but Stanislaw's just waiting for this bomb tap on, and Freshie's prepared for it.
Yep.
He's wise to his tricks. That could be the one that tips the scale. That could be the move, because Slight then tries to walk out, gets caught by Darty, and this time, for perhaps the first time this map, it's Boss leading the dance.
Finally. Yeah, I mean, Freshie, that's such a good clear to just spam that smoke and say, wait a second, Stanislaw has been a little sneaky on this cave position quite a few times. Let's spam the smoke and make sure he's not in there. And then Stan goes down, and that changes the entire complexion of that attempted retake from Wildcard, and they just couldn't get back into the site. So not only that, I mean, the money actually hasn't been that great here for Wildcard, and you're looking at it, they're not going to have a buy up here. It's just going to be Stan with the UMP, everyone else onto pistol. So this is the chance for Boss to at least perhaps win out in this half and make it a lot closer. Sonic, though, with the 5-7, great flashbang from Ponalone in support of Fang's peak. Now Boss are starting to find the rhythm. They needed that one round, like I said, and it looks a lot better for them, even though they're just going up against pistols. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. Stanislaw and JVA get 3 combined, Mike!
What on earth? They went through the choke point util. They're clearing out the rest of the site, but it's JVA they've got to contend with. Huge shot for Ponalone. Look, they're not going to look back on this like teaching tape. This is not going to be one they want to repeat, but they're going to be very happy to get the round done.
Oh no. Oh no.
Potentially big as well. I'm going to find the silver lining for you, John.
Okay,
the silver lining is a 4K for Fang. been
Okay.
quiet games so far. We know Fang can be a confidence player, right? Fang can be a streaky player at times, and sometimes all it takes is that one big round where he can look at the number next to his name and get a little bit more juice flowing. And that's going to be important for Boss as we swap sides. Look, a 7-5 is a mighty recoverable game.
Oh, yeah.
Even an 8-4 at this point, considering how disastrous this looked, we've got a Boss that's at the very least woken up. Oh boy, dry peek without a flashbang. That's not going to work out for them. Slight likes to hold this line. And he gets away with it again. Choke point util in. They can't risk that. Boss slow to go out. Missed the opportunity to punish over on A. They'll leave behind Ponalone's body, and they'll have to adjust.
That's a problem for them, honestly. When they lose those opening fights so far, the rest of the round hasn't really gone too great. We'll see if Fang, like you said, he is a very streaky player, so maybe he can come out here and at least get one and then get the cavalry to run in after him. Sonic will be a very difficult foe, and there it is. There's that one. Fang comes out,
no.
and
No
they don't clear.
Oh,
They don't
boy.
clear the corner. JBA gets 2, 3v2 in favor of Wildcard, and now time is against Boss.
Not done just yet. 45 seconds. Stan. Molly, but he risks it. Spots the last. Has that information as well. Grizz has been dodging around the big box. They know he's here, though. Freshy's been tipped off, so it's all about the clutch here for Freshy. Time enough to leave. Did he just get... He got a footstep. Oh! What a shot! And he knows. Slight's already anticipating the rotate off. The bomb's going to be playing it on Slight. Shifting around the angle of approach. Freshy, how does he want to play this? 5 bullets in the gun. He's not accounting for the rotate off at all. He's not moved a muscle. Now he's wise to it, to the potential, to the possibility, and actually, Freshy's realized it. It's got to be the headshot, though, and he's not going to have it. Slight ducks the angle. Defuse there. The clutch will go the way of Wildcard, and they will double up their opponent's scoreline as we head to the half. We are back in it. Wild card with a substantial lead, but honestly, considering the way this game started, it's a recovery for Boss. They give themselves a fighting chance, albeit a very tough road lies ahead of them.
Yes, without question. I mean, they're on the defensive side, so
We're doing
that's
this again.
We are.
John, we're doing this again.
We are doing it again.
We're doing a full retake of A. Oh boy. Okay. Should be a little quicker for Boss to realize, but this is exactly slightly different look to what we got on the first.
Very slightly different.
Apparently, we're just playing no A defense here.
I don't know. Maybe it'll work out for Boss as well, but I'm not feeling too great for them given how snappy the aim has been for Wildcard. And there it is again. Okay, trade comes through immediately, though, from Cryptic. Grizz continues to fire away. The bomb is ticking away, though, and do they have a kit? Yes, they do have a kit. So they'll be okay if they can get the frags, but they're not going to get those frags, Mike. Stand and slight. Get another 2, and it's only Fang left by his lonesome and A main. He has a huge task ahead of himself, and honestly, there's no time anyway.
Yeah. No possibility. A TK even. Fang didn't get a single one of those kills because Grizzly put Stan down before he could respond. All right. Wildcard again. Very confident in the pistol. The difference there, right, is the way Wildcard ran it is they were content to give up A, but they were so decisive into the retake, immediately taking all of the initiative. Boss, a lot more timid, a lot more hesitant. It did not pan out for them.
Yeah, I think timid, hesitant, lacking confidence has been the story for Boss over the last couple of months, and it continues to be here. Slight gets the opener onto Fang, and yeah, it's just going to be a slaughter here. 10-4 for Wildcard.
Double digits reached. Confident again as well. No casualties. Boss, they're going to invest. And John, this realistically might be their only chance.
Yep.
This is the best shot at making a game of this.
It is the bonus round for Wildcard. It's a pretty good one, though. You know, you have a couple of Galils and AK in the mix. UMP and the MAC-10 aren't too bad. But yeah, Boss have to do it right here. There's no question in my mind.
The whole opponent aggressive. Gets tagged up. Stays alive, at least for the moment. But he's pushed back. Can't get the boundary push. They're trying to take a risk, trying to take that early A main flank. But JBA watchful, wise to it. And now Jag control being seeded. Cryptic here in the cave. Can't have Fang to play off of as well, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Molotov forces Fang back, so it is just Cryptic, but a smoke up gives him cover to play behind. For this skirmish at the moment, Wildcard seem content to give the space. They're going to rotate.
This is a good read.
It is indeed. So far back from Boss over on the A site. You can't blame them based on what they've seen in B main, but now it could cost them. Could cost them very dearly indeed. If they lose Pwn alone, Freshy's on an island. There goes Pwn alone. Freshy's in a lot of trouble now. He'll take the first. Can't snap around to the second, but decent damage on. Still, the bomb's going to be planted. And for Boss, a tough decision to be made. We risk it all here. Now they certainly will. Even numbers just as the bomb goes down. There is a kit as well on Cryptic. That could be critical. Playing the point now. The walk in Slight trying to take extra ground, and it costs him. JBA on the edge of the smoke. Stanislaw in a dangerous spot. JBA lost and now Stan spotted. The health is low, but Darty will find the bullet needed. And a defuse is here. Boss, they risked it all and they found the reward.
Yeah, Darty and Cryptic barely surviving out of that round, but Darty, the 3K, what a great job from him. I mean, we talked about it in the pregame. Darty and Freshy are those two players that were very good for them in the last season of ECL, and this season it's kind of fallen by the wayside for them. So for them to pop off and have good performances, that's a key factor in Boss getting rounds and getting maps in this season. They're still down by 5, but that was a great one for them to find. They knew it, right? They said, it's 10-4, guys. Well, what do we do here? We have to try to get this round, because if we don't, I mean, we're either saving and trying to come back the next one, but by that point, it'll already be 11-4, and they only need 2 more rounds. So good on Boss, taking the risk, going and getting that round. The problem, it was the bonus round for Wildcard. They're coming right back with 4 AKs in the AWP. So all is reset for Boss, who still don't have enough cash to get that op up and running. It will be 4 M4s and an AK, though. Grizz, interesting spot in Cubby. Cryptic has to clear it. He is, but it's not a good angle for him. And Grizz punishes.
Been snappy on that shoot. Oh, great flashbang timing off of Sonic as well. That's a disaster now for Boss. They lose the mid push. They've all been caught out. Wanted to go for the more aggressive look, and Boss have suffered for it. Looking like Wildcard are on strike right now because they're overthrowing the bosses. And at this point, it's going to have to be a darty pop-off. Boss. There's the one. Trades instant. Do they read this as a B play? They do indeed. Bomb shifting its way on in. Well, Polo may catch them unawares, taking the initiative here. He's got a lot more work to do. Oh, he thinks it's going A. He's reading this through towards A. The Molotov's going to sell it as well, but now the bomb's down. When does he realize?
Too late.
Definitely so unfortunate.
Too late, Mike. Yeah, and
he knows he's not hearing the ticking, but at this point, he's just going to have to save.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, there's no point. You guessed wrong, and then you go over and just save your AK into the next round. It's tough for Boss because they continue to win rounds, and then Wildcard comes right back and just presses them down further into the ground. 11-5 in favor of Wildcard, who, I mean, are looking great. Sonic in particular, 18-9. I mean, he's always a player that we've kind of sung praises for, and he continues to show why.
It's just crazy that he was retired, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
got so much heat.
I mean, I think it was more like a mental health, break that he wanted to take. And I totally understand it given how long he'd been competing. And he could have honestly just decided he was going to fully retire and not come back to the game. But I'm glad he decided to come back because he's such a great talent.
Shoutouts to Halzer not being able to get in the country that one time.
Yeah.
Unretired Sonic after he wrecked at Dallas and DC. It's actually crazy. He to my knowledge, having talked to him about it, he fully had no intention of coming back to Counter-Strike. And then that stint went so well. I was like, let's see what's still here. Pwn alone, speaking of things going so well, could barely see players there. 3-man spray down off the flashbang. The aggro mid-play this time bears fruit. Fang's got the aggro space in A main. They've got the information now. Problem is the B sites are vulnerable. And a retake is not going to be appetizing. I'll risk it nonetheless. He's fresh and get active. He's just got a CZ for it, but could potentially retrieve a bomb if he goes in towards the window on the flank. Instead they're moving ahead of time, and it's working out. Podolo with the ace.
Truly living up to his namesake here with all 5 frags coming through. Pwn alone. I mean, even at the beginning, he was flashed. It was a good flash. It was from my Wildcard, but he just had the angle. Great spray control and gets 2. Then the follow-up afterwards really doesn't let Wildcard get into this round very well. I'm surprised they're even able to get the bomb after everything that went down. But let's also not forget, Boss didn't invest into that round. That was an eco around an AK that was saved from the previous. And now they've got a ton of money in their bank accounts and maybe a lease on life. Because, look, they're down by 5 rounds, but Wildcard's going to be on the eco here. They've got the pistols. This lead could quickly evaporate. Pwn alone, the veteran, helping guide his team to get back into this one.
Bit awkward utility here in the elbow. Sometimes all you need is one spark. Uh-oh, here's a bonfire lit the other way. Fang. Trying to throw some sand on this one, but it's tough. Once the fire gets going, they're in trouble. Pwnalone's got the big green. But he's once again going to have to be the man, or they're in a whole lot of trouble. Boss, these players are fully isolated at this point. That's a nice way to make things easier, though, for Dart. He scouts out, locates the B player. And now Wildcard aren't going to want to risk a rotate. They'll put some air in this one. See if a reclear is going to come in. See if Darty was going to get a little bit too adventurous. Instead, no, it's going to be the threat onto the A site. And the problem is, Pwnalone's got 2 directions to watch. For all he knows, they're up donut right now. But the shift comes in a timely fashion here from Boss. Cryptics come in to support here, John.
Yeah. Cryptic. I mean, they fully realize it's going to hit the A side at this point. Pwn alone hits the shot onto Grizz. Cryptic getting the headshot on Sonic, and now it's all up to Stanislaw. He's going to try and grab a gun. No, he just goes for the straight fight with the P250 and loses it. Pwn alone, another 2 racked up, and he has taken charge on his squad. 7 rounds found now for Boss. Still 4 back, but Wildcard, are they going to invest in this one? Looks like they will. They're going to force up here.
Look, the stat sheet's going to show that one as opponent alone round as well. No, it was Darty. It's all about that peak out B ramp. That 1 kill is such a difference maker, right? Because it gives them the confidence to shift the numbers in towards A, and it limits Wildcard's options. So sometimes it's not about the numbers, it's about the impact. And that was big impact from Darty in a tough spot.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Pwn alone still doing the job with the frags, but I agree, you know, that was a nice clear from Darty, and all the space and information that he gained towards the B site was what allowed them, you know, to gain that presence and rotate onto A. Anyway, Stanislaw is going to be spamming through the smoke here. Nade going to sail through right next to him, but he's already kind of going in the other direction as the smoke gets tossed right in front of his face. So Wildcard are going for this mid control, and actually could work out really well because of where Stanislaw's positioned himself. Pwn alone watching, realizing it, misses the shot, could get overloaded very quickly. Flashbang comes in, he realizes it, and backs off and throws a Molotov. So that'll give him a little bit of breathing room to back off into this A site. But Boss, they were heavily stacked onto B. Now they're going to have to readjust themselves, and the audio cues might be there for Grizz. No, they walk it. That's very, very smart on their side.
Oh, they're going through the smoke. They're going through the smoke in towards the red room. Grizz is taking the space. Hits him against Darty. Again, might need to be Darty for the impact kill. Pwn alone posted up in the angle that Slight likes. Here's the fight in. Is there the trade? There is indeed. Grizz coming back into it, but Cryptic's giving him the slip. That's critical. Oh, that what a delete good shot. Cryptic one more, but it's not enough. Pwn alone erased over the site boxes. So now this is a very tough ask of Boss.
I think they might pull the plug.
Be conceding map point. They seem like they want to give this a look at the very least. The prospect is too great, but Stanislaw might just shut this down before it begins. He will indeed. Great transfer. And the captain of the squad puts map point on the board. Wildcard now just 1 away.
Yeah, that was just too risky to go for. Given your positioning, you have 2 players coming through from Donut. There's so many angles to clear to get to that bomb site. And Stanislaw gets both because you really don't know what side they're going to come from. Are they going to come from A? Are they going to come from left pillar, right pillar? Are they playing up close? There's just too much to clear and not enough time to do so. And Boss, unfortunately for them, are going to lose both and the round as well. 12-7, 5 opportunities for Wildcard to close this one out. And Fang gets the opener here. Okay, that's something. Sonic can't have his way in this round and will be dropped immediately. He's been the best player for them throughout this map. JBA backing off. He was the lurk. Still is. We'll see if he rejoins with his teammates, though.
This cave fight's going to be everything.
Yeah.
Yep, down approach. Still going to be trouble. Flashbang's good, and Grizz gets both. He's ready for that. Uh-oh. Now disaster striking here for Boss. Fang flashed just as he wanted to swing. He's very fortunate he's not burning.
I know. Jeez.
Flames all around him. But Safe Haven somehow provided. Someone lost, but it's up to Fang. First, swings into the second. A dink, but not a kill. Still, this gives Freshy a chance. Bomb down. Numbers punched in. All on Freshy now. And he goes for the wrap on ramp instead of risking the cave play. First one found. At the cost of some of his health and at the cost of his information. Slight wants the wrap.
Such a good
Slight
play.
wants the wrap.
Such a good play.
This might be checkmate. Slight. Putting the pressure on. Freshy's out in the open. Here comes the shot, but he hasn't heard the tap.
This is beautiful.
Oh, Freshy's just losing this out. He's come off the bomb. He didn't have time. He never gave himself a chance. He had to go for the stick. And that's going to be the game. Wildcard has done it. Slight never gave him the chance to win the round. Beautifully played. A master stroke from Slight. And this painting, well, it's finished. It's ready, and it's a Wildcard dub.
Yeah, that was gorgeous. That was just absolutely a perfect play from Slight, rotating around the flank. You saw it materializing. You knew that there was no chance that Freshie was going to clear behind him, and Slight just walks in. Eventually, Freshie's like, what the heck?